Live from the KXLY Broadcast Center. Now, KXLY 4 News at 11.
A convicted rapist and murderer may be getting a new trial. Good evening, I'm Richard Brown. Robin's on assignment. The Court of Appeal says there was a constitutional mistake in Brian Frawley's trial, and now the man convicted of killing Margaret Cordova is in legal limbo. KXLY4's Janet O live with the ruling and the Cordova family reaction tonight. Janet?
Well, Richard, family members say they didn't expect this. Now, prosecutors say it's common practice in a sexual assault and murder case to ask potential jury members personal questions such as, have you ever been raped? This was done, but behind closed doors. And that's where the Court of Appeal says it violated the defendant's constitutional right.
I started crying. It was really hard on me. It blew me away.
It's been 3 years, so... You know, and every time we try and move on, it just gets a little harder sometimes.
And now it gets even harder to move on. Family members of Margaret Cordova learned this afternoon the man convicted in kidnapping, raping, and killing her in 2004 will get a new trial.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Cordova had been missing for a month before her body was discovered. Investigators found DNA on her that led them to Brian Frawley. During the jury selection process, potential jurors were asked in the judges' chambers if they had ever been raped or abused.
Is we want to find out if jurors have this kind of experience, and because of their privacy concerns, judges have typically done this in chambers.
But the Court of Appeal says those privacy concerns violated Frawley's constitutional rights to a public trial, and that was the basis of his appeal. For Cordova's family, the news is heartbreaking, but they say they'll be back in court when the time comes to fight this all the way.
It's just going to be just as hard as it was the first time.
Now, Deputy Prosecutor Cosmo says potential jury members were asked personal questions in private to help select an impartial jury member and to also save them the embarrassment from talking about something so traumatizing in front of a crowd. Cosmo says with this case overturned, it could affect other violent assault, rape, and murder convictions in the state. He plans on asking the state Supreme Court to review the Court of Appeal's decision. Reporting live at the courthouse, Janet O, KXLY4.